Welcome to The Actual Story, the official podcast of the National Agricultural Communicators of Tomorrow. I'm your host, Lydia Hill, and I, along with the rest of the National Officer team, are here to share the voices, ideas, and stories shaping the future of agriculture and communications. Whether you're a student, professional, or simply passionate about the industry, this is your place to connect, learn, and be inspired. So without further ado, let's dive into today's actual story. Originally from Springfield, Ohio, Emma Violet grew up showing rabbits, goats, and sheep. She attended Black Hawk East College in Canali, Illinois, and earned her degree in agribusiness. After graduating, Violet moved to Hillsboro in 2024 to work at Sullivan Supply for a year. Since then, she has moved on to start her own jewelry business. She is also striving to become a well-known stock show and fashion social media influencer.
Well, thank you for joining us today, Emma. It's really great to have you. To start us off, just go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Well, thank you for having me. So, I am Emma Violet. I am originally from Springfield, Ohio. I graduated at Mechanicsburg, which is a really small town, and then I went to college out at Black Hawk East, and then I got my degree in ag business. And then after that, I got an amazing job at Sullivan Supply. I was there for about a year, and then I decided that that was not for me. And now I have my own small business of selling jewelry, and I'm also striving to become a influencer in the Western slash stock show fashion industry, and that's been going really well the past few years. So right now I am staying at home all the time and traveling, doing a lot of photo shoots and selling jewelry. So that's kind of where my
Very,
life has been.
very, very cool. I've actually been following you for a hot minute, so this is kind of funny. This is a full circle moment. Um, so let's circle back to like your college experience and like you getting a job straight out of college. What was it like getting out of college and then like adulthood smacking you in the face with a 9 to 5? How did that work for you?
Okay, so starting off in college, um, I hate to say this, but Blackhawk is a 2-year school, and I was there for 3, which is totally fine. I was a slow burn freshman year and trying to get my grasp on things. And then right after college, I saw that Sullivan's was hiring. So in around December-ish, I applied. Thank goodness I had a friend that was working at Sullivan's that put in a good word for me. But I applied and then I got the job. And then I moved from Springfield down to Hillsboro. So it's not like, oh, I'm moving home and I have my mom to help me out. It's like, nope, you're going straight to an apartment, straight to a job. Yeah, it did smack me in the face because getting an apartment right away, you have like your deposit and then first month rent. Then you have to pay your startup fee for water, your startup fee for internet, startup fee for electric. Like you have a lot of things that you're starting out with. So you think you're broke coming out of college. No, you're way broker once you get into life. So it's really crazy. But I'm very thankful to have my friends and my boss that helped me out so much with a lot of leeways. But what was very good was that I traveled all the time with Sullivan's. So it kept my mind off of being a quote unquote adult, which really helped out. So if someone goes straight into an office job, I know they're going to struggle a little bit more than what I did. But I think my biggest advice to anyone is that staying busy is the best thing to do. Because if you're stuck in an office, I'm sorry, because I would just think and stress 24/7.
Yeah, I'm the same way. When I graduate, like I do not want to be at an office job where I'm sitting at a desk from 8 to 5 just because I like being active and talking to people and like
Mhm.
my job not feeling like a job. So I totally feel you. When you were in college, did you know what you wanted to do when you graduated?
No, not even close. I not even close. I grew up wanting to own my own boutique and sell clothes. So I'm glad kind of like what you said, a full circle moment, kind of doing the same thing now. But in college, I had no idea at all. Like, one of my brothers is working for Caterpillar, and that was a good job for him. My one brother is working at a cattle farm, and I'm just like, what in the heck am I going to do? So when I came home, I didn't even have a plan. So thank goodness I had Sullivan's to fall back on. And then now jewelry, which I found along the way. But no, not even close.
Yeah, I feel like even like starting in middle school, like as students, we're expected to know what we want to do. And I understand like that's how you can kind of like make some objectives throughout high school and then like going through college. But even now, like there's not a specific job title that I want. Like I know what I enjoy in ag communications and I know what I don't like. And I think as long as a job meets that criteria, then I'm not going to be too picky because I know I'm not getting my dream job right off the bat when I graduate.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I understand that. As long as I'm in the ag field in one way, shape, or another, I'm going to be happy and I know I'm going to excel. So, yeah, I feel that.
Right. So is that why you chose ag business, just so it can be kind of broad?
Yes, yes. I
Okay.
wanted to do anything and everything under the ag spectrum. I could have done ag communications, which is pretty much the same thing, but ag business, like I said, I wanted to have my own business one way or another. So having that little bit of a business education helped, but ag communications would do the same thing. So,
Yeah, well, I don't know if I can say I agree with that because my minor, it was gonna be a double major, but my minor is in ag business right now,
mhm,
and I think having the both of them together is extremely beneficial because ag business is really getting down into the nitty-gritty of markets and financials and trade and all that stuff, where ag communications is you're taking all of that numbery stuff and transforming it into something a person can understand, whether that's consumer, producer, policymakers, anything like that. And I think they both can get you to the same place. You're just gonna do the job a little bit differently. So that's why I personally enjoy having experience in both AgCom and ag business because
mhm.
I get a little feel of everything.
Right, 100%. And if I continued on to a 4-year school, which I was going to go to Oklahoma State, if I continued on, I would have loved to minor in something kind of like along the same lines as you and get a different branch and expand my horizons. Sadly, I didn't because I got the Sullivan's job, but I'm envy of the people that have both and could do that. So I love that for you, honestly. I wish I
Thank
had that.
you.
Yeah, I wish I had that. So I love that for you and anybody else that does that.
Thank you. I think it's been pretty common at ABAC, the school I go to. That's started to be like a common thing because a lot of girls are wanting to start like their own photography business, or do freelance and things like that. So it's starting to get pretty popular, and I really enjoy learning both sides, even though I'm not a numbers oriented person. And I've said that probably 20 times on this podcast by now, but it's still remains true. Would you consider going back to college?
So, yes and no. I, in all honesty, I would go back to college for the social aspect, not really class aspect, because I'm not very good in class. I cannot test well to save my life. I would go back just to hang out with people, grow my business more on like the college aspect with the girls. School wise, I wouldn't mind going back to take a few more classes, but where I'm at now with my business and I am getting older, I don't think I'm going to, but I'm
Right.
not opposed to going down the line. I just don't see myself doing that because I'm doing well where I'm at, and I don't think I need that extra 2 years for a bachelor's degree, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, and sometimes, like, 2 years is all you need. I mean, my dad only had a 2 years associate's degree from NC State University, and he has
Mhm.
his own business now, and it's been thriving since the '90s. So, I think really, like, having a degree under your belt is really good, but you being personable and just knowing how to talk to people, like, that's what really gets you off the bat.
Yeah, and I think connections is another thing that gets you where you need to go. Like I when I talk to younger girls, especially in the livestock industry, shake every single hand you can possibly shake because you have no idea where that's going to lead. And I believe in that so much. I cannot push that on girls. Well, girls and guys. I cannot push that on people more nowadays because it's all about your connections. So if you don't choose to go to
Yeah.
college, oh, hey, I remember Joe Schmo down the street that I shook his hand and he owns this company. Like, I think it's great.
Yeah, I'm kind of doing that right now. I'm living in Washington D.C. on an internship, and like although I know I don't want to live here full time just because I'm missing gals every day, but this is the one place where I can meet people from all over the country and even the world who can
Mhm.
help me get to where I want to be. And I've really taken advantage of that. And I feel like connections is the one like common theme throughout this podcast where every single guest I have on here says, okay, you need to network. So I hope to the people who have listened to multiple episodes of this podcast, like are starting to grasp that it's really, really important. And what I struggle with when like networking with people I don't like being awkward and, like, if there's 2 people clearly talking, like, I don't wanna just, like, walk up into their conversation because I think that's rude. But another
Mhm.
thing is, like, making sure I have a nice facial expression on just because I know I struggle with this, and I'm sure a lot of other girls too, but just, like, okay, I'm gonna say it, like an RBF, I have a really, really bad one, and when I'm in a professional networking setting, like, I don't wanna look unapproachable because I'm personally having the time of my life, but my face doesn't say that, so I've had to stay pretty aware of that.
Right. I was at a livestock sale this past weekend and I was talking with one of my friends and she was like, "Emma, you're so approachable." I'm like, "What are you talking about? I have an RBF." And she goes, "Oh, well, I have the worst one." So yeah, no, I understand. Trying to look like you're enjoying yourself or putting on it's not a fake smile, but putting it on your face even though so your face is looks like you're mean, but you're not. So you have to put on a smile, even if
Yeah,
you are happy, even if you're not happy. Yeah, I
yeah.
I understand.
Okay, so let's dive into your business. I don't really know where I want to start because I have so many questions, but I guess what inspired you? I know you said you've wanted to do boutique since you were younger. What inspired you to get specifically into jewelry and like fashion? Um, how did you get started? And I guess like what was kind of your support system in starting up?
So, my second year of college, I was falling in love with so many different big name influencers. The main one that I fell in love with, her name is Western Gringa, and she's out of Texas.
Oh my
She's my
gosh, yes,
favorite.
I'm obsessed with her.
She is so good. I fell in love with it, and she was just propping up her phone and taking pictures of her outfit and posting, and I was like, "Yes, girl, love." So then I was like, "That looks easy. I love my outfits every day. I'm gonna prop up my phone and take pictures." So I just started doing that every day. Plus, it forced me to put myself together in college.
Yeah,
So I constantly put myself together. I constantly made TikToks, and it started from there. And then I moved to my next house, and in the summer I was starting my like collaborations, and it started with Indian Creek beads. And Colleen was the first person that took a leap with me, and she sent out these insane boxes with it full of jewelry, and I was like, "Oh my gosh." And I think that was like love at first sight was all the jewelry cuz I wanted jewelry like that, but I could never afford it at the time being in college and not really having a job. So the boxes came to me and I was able to play with them and I fell in love with stacking jewelry. And then that made me branch out to clothing more. So then I was like, all right, I think jewelry's it. So then I started talking with Colleen and I was like, would you mind if I started my own business? And she helped me out tremendously. So my support system was amazing. I got made fun of and laughed at every single day. I this is like I get emotional talking about it because no one understands. In college, that sophomore year, every single Wednesday, I would put myself together at least 5 or 6 different outfits made TikToks and took pictures. So it lasted me all week. And then when I started getting the jewelry, it like pushed me even more. And I've been pushing for this like quote unquote dream of being an influencer and running this business forever now. And it's starting to come alive and I love it all the time. So the support system I had was my mom and my brothers mostly, but everyone in college and everyone else started laughing at me and that drove me harder too. So all in all, it started in college and literally love at first sight when I got that first box of jewelry from Indian Creek Beads, honestly. And I couldn't thank Colleen enough for being like, yeah, I'm gonna send this random girl some jewelry. Hopefully hopefully get some cool pictures, which it turned out pretty well. So yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, that's really awesome. And I'm in the same position right now where like I'm absolutely obsessed with jewelry, but in college you don't make bank to buy stacks on
Mm-hmm.
stacks of Navajos. And like right now I'm literally just saving up for like one necklace and I will be the happiest person on the planet. But I think it's really awesome that like people wanted to take chances on you and you had a really strong support system. And even if people were preying on your downfall, like you use that as fuel to work even harder.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really inspirational for young women who are wanting to get out and be an entrepreneur and be an influencer, because it is totally possible, especially in this day and age where everybody is looking for the next cool thing on their phones.
Yep, 100%. Yes. And I like right now, everyone has done everything you can think of, like photo shoot wise, jewelry wise. So I'm trying to go outside of the box. Like I made an all pearl halter top for NFR. And now this year I need to strive even further. So I think nowadays everything has been done. So people are stepping out of the box and I'm obsessed with it even more. And you're like, wow, they did that? Okay, cool. I want to try it in a different way or think of it in a different light. Like, even as an example, photo shoots, I did one at Waffle House and people obsessed over it because it's just a regular place you go to at 3 in the morning.
Right.
And I'm trying to make it chic and cool. And then I just did one with my photographer, Kayla, at a gravel pit. Like, you drive past that in your small town. Why not make it editorial? So I think it's really fun right now. And I love watching girls change the idea of not just the Western fashion, just like industries in general and putting their
Right.
own spin on things. I'm eating it up every day because I'm an avid scroller. So it's my favorite thing to see what people have up their sleeves. It's my favorite.
So when you went to NFR, I'm not going to say did you necessarily have a sponsor, but did you make that choice to go like independently in hopes of boosting your platform, or what inspired that?
Okay, so this past December would was my second time going to Vegas. My first time going, I went with my mom. I didn't have anything like I worked with brands, of course. They sent me some clothes and I worked with them. I didn't have anything big and spectacular. I was going to meet people to understand what the hype was. You see pre NFR, you see NFR, and you see post NFR on social media. I'm like, yeah, I want that to be me. So I'm like, if I want it to be my life, I have to go and experience it and I have to throw everything into it. That's what I did the first year. The second year, last December, I could not be more grateful. I went with Brianna Purvis and Amanda, which is Neon Wrangler. I took every single I took that opportunity and saw it as a way for me to connect with people. I met so many brands, so many other girls. It was the best experience. And then I went that whole 10 days. I was actually there for 14 in total. And then my
Wow.
family joined me halfway through. So then it was, a little solo trip as well. So yes, all of that was me putting myself out there and showing up and being like, "Hey, I know you don't know me, but you're going to know me. I'm going to force you to know me. I'm putting my face in front of yours and saying, "Hey, I am wanting to be in this industry." And now going to other events, people know me, like business-wise and other girls, and it is the best. You are making your own little community or joining that community, and it is the best, honestly. And
Yeah.
then, not to ramble on, but I went to WESA this past January, and you see all these girls going to WESA, which is in Dallas. It's at the Dallas Market, World Trade Center. So you go and meet brands and you meet all the other influencers. So it's like, to any girl that wants to do this, you just have to jump in head first and being like, yeah, I'm going to show up. I'm going to shake your hand and I'm going to force you to know me. And that is what I'm doing personally. And it's working out really well, to be honest.
Yeah, that is so, so cool. Um, and I think you're really just a testament of like, as long as you put your head down and work and shake hands, like eventually someone will take a chance on you. And I think like in this day and age, like you have to have somebody take a chance on you or else you're not getting a job no matter like what you're in, but especially in agriculture, no matter what field of agriculture you're in, like the job market is so hit or miss. I know college graduates are struggling to find jobs, and the ones who did find jobs is because they knew the right person and they had an opening at the right time, and it's really just luck of the draw. So knowing these people before the positions opens and like establishing a good relationship is what's really, really helpful these days, is what I've discovered and what I'm hoping happens to me when I graduate.
100%. Yes, I agree. And I'm really big on if it's meant to be, it'll be, and doors opening and doors closing for specific reasons. It's either reasons or for a season. And I completely agree on that. If it's meant to be for you, it'll be for you and your door will open. So, yeah, if you start shaking hands now, that door will open for you down the way. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of what happened when I ended up here in DC. I was not expecting this at all, and it was extremely last minute, like maybe 4 weeks before I had to move up here. And but like it fell into my lap and I was like, okay, I'm going to be dumb if I don't take this opportunity, because
Mhm.
even though I may not want to live up here full time, there's going to be so many cool people that I can meet and so many new experiences, and even just learning how to be like a better American citizen and understanding what actually goes on up here has been so, so enlightening. And I can take it back and use it in my everyday life no matter where I end up.
Yeah, that is so cool. I love that you're in DC.
Yeah, I've been here since the end of January and I'll be done May 1st. And then after that, I have to go finish out my fall and spring semester back at school.
Oh, nice. There you go. So you're not there like for a whole year or anything. You're there for a perfect little
No,
spurt of time.
yeah, it's just a spring semester internship, and then I'll be going back to school.
That's pretty cool. I love that.
So when you started out like doing websites and social medias, what platforms do you use the most? Like I know you probably use Instagram and TikTok, but when it comes to your website, like how did all that come to be?
So yes, I use Instagram and TikTok nonstop. I don't like Facebook at all, even personally, don't like it. Um, but when it comes to the website, um, one of my best friends from college, her name's Brianna. She um is at Iowa State right now, and she's learned everything you can possibly imagine with website design and like not like content creating, but pretty much like the technical side behind it. So
Right.
I created my business and I was like, hey, I need a website. Where should I begin? And she was like, I can make one for you. And I was like, oh, okay. So I gave her free reins on everything and she created my website. So biggest kudos to her. I use Shopify. I don't use Square or anything like that. So Shopify is very, very easy for small businesses or girls that are overwhelmed. They have everything broken down for you, even all the way down to taxes and stuff. That's
Mhm.
very helpful. Shipping's really easy. So, I'm very thankful to my friend Brianna that made it for me and she got it everything lined out. But yeah, I just use Shopify and I have my own um like link, what I don't know what you want to call it, but I have my own address, my link address, so that's made for me. And yeah, I use it every single day. I don't know, you might have heard a notification, but someone bought something, so it goes onto my phone as well. So
Yeah.
that's very nice. And then I have, instead of a POS system, like a big system, I just have a small, like, it's literally shape of a square. You can tap or insert a card. So when I'm out in public at events, I just take that. I don't need like an extension cord or a plug-in. I just have my phone and that little square deal, and it's on my phone, and it's easy as that. So anybody that's like stressed or anything and people ask, I just go Shopify. It's all you need. It's pretty
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm actually like going through your website right now and I will link it into the bio of this. Um, really well designed. I don't have any experience with Shopify, but I think like you literally have everything you could ever need. Like you have what's in stock, you have a blog, like Stack Saturday. Oh my gosh. Like this is really awesome.
So when her and I were talking about this and how I wanted it to look, I've changed a few things since she made it. I've had it for almost a year, and I was like, I want people to see the inside of the business. I want people to have inspiration so they don't have to go and find it. So yeah, the Stacks Saturday is by far my favorite. I try to update it as much as I can. And then yeah, I want everyone to be able to come and do a one-stop shop and buy anything and everything that you need. Um and I'm trying to like keep inventory up, which is obviously the hardest part is keeping inventory flowing and up to date. So yeah, I'm very proud of Brianna and I for what we came together. So it's pretty cool. So thank you for
Yeah,
that.
this is awesome. Where does your inventory come from, if you don't mind me asking?
So honestly, everywhere. Like I know that's so broad, but when I string, um my like Navajo pearls are from a wholesaler in New Mexico. My beads, most of my beads, I just get them off Etsy because it's all right there. You don't have to go to multiple different websites. It might be more expensive, but it's just easier and more effective for me. So beads wise, I do that. When it comes to native pieces, I go through Indian Touch of Gallup. Native City Jewelry is really good. Um, I go to Dallas Market about twice a year to do a big haul. Where else? I try to get more affordable pieces for people because I know right now, like we've said, it's very hard to get the trends of jewelry when it's so expensive. So I'm trying to
Mhm.
stay on the affordable end for all my babes out there and growing their collection and growing their stacks. So I do my best to keep affordable pieces on there for you guys as well. But yeah, I try to get anywhere and everywhere that I can. Anywhere that's a good deal, I snatch it up. So Indian Touch of Gallup and Native City Jewelry is really good. And then I have a bead guy out in New Mexico, and then Etsy's good for beads. So
So do
those are
you
my
string your own pearl necklaces?
yes, yes.
Okay.
So little bit of a backstory. Designs by Emma Violet started in my kitchen in a condo at my mom's house when I was 15. So I started with hammered metalwork pieces. So if you wanted like Emma on a ring or a cuff, I can like hammer it into the silver for you. And then I moved that into college. That helped pay for a lot of college. And then I stopped for a little bit because school became a lot. And then after that, I was really into the influencing. And then I'm like, I really want to start up another business, but more professional and with intention of a strong business. So I started to do hand strung pieces. So yeah, I hand strung all the Navajo pearls, all the beaded stuff. I hand strung all of that unless it's stated differently in the bio of the piece, but 99% of everything is hand strung by me. So constantly working on stringing.
Do you have like a specific space for that now?
What do you
Like
mean
to do your
specific space?
like to do your work?
Yes, so I'm still in Hillsboro. I have my own apartment and I sit on my couch every single day and I've watched almost every TV show possibly imagine. So I sit down with all my jewels and I string while I watch TV, and I can knock out about 2 to 5 pieces within an hour, which is really good. So in a day,
Mhm.
I can knock out quite a bit, which is very
Wow.
productive. Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea, like, how long it takes to do, like, a piece, so and I'm sure, like, since you're experienced, that's pretty fast, it would probably take me, like, 2 hours to do 1 right now, but that's so cool.
Yeah, so I have an assistant as well. Her name's Anne, and she can crank them out now very, very fast. So if I'm busy one day or out of town, she'll take my stuff and start stringing. So she's getting really, really good at it. But before it would take her, yeah, forever to do one. Which, yeah, once you get going, it's pretty easy. Once you get a flow of ideas, it's pretty easy. And it's really
Yeah.
fun, honestly.
Yeah, especially, like, I'm very crafty and artsy, and I've looked into, like, attempting to do it, but, like, with all the stuff I have going on right now, like, it's just easier for me to hope and dream that I can buy one of my own one day, but, like, end goal is for me to be able to make my own jewelry, and I think, like, it's really cool that you make it seem easier than I'm sure it is because I know if I had to do it, it would probably take a while, but
Mhm.
honestly, like, everything you're doing is extremely inspiring.
Oh, thank you so very, very much. Like, honestly, that means a lot. Um, I recommend. It is hard doing, like, your first necklace, but after you know what to do, what not to do, like, I think you could do it, make a little bit of money if you wanted to sell them, but I definitely recommend you at least trying it when you get back to school after DC. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, and I'm sure, like is it okay if I put, like, your professional contact info at the bottom of this episode and, like, if a girl has a question, like, she can reach out to you?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. I'm always
Okay.
here to help all the other babes that want to strive. So, yeah, if it's about, social media presence or social media or all the way down to small business, heck yeah, I'm always down to help or be a mentor for them. So, yeah, for sure.
Sweet. I know you'll probably get some inquiries after I publish this episode. When you're doing sales, I know you do sales on website and then you promote like on socials, but like when you travel places, do you take inventory with you to sell?
Yes, I try to take so I have right now 2 tubs of jewelry, and I it's so easy just to put them in my car. I went to my first pig sale a few weeks ago. I didn't set up like a table, but I had jewelry there, and I would carry around the boxes, and the girls would look through it. We put them on a table. So yeah, everywhere I go, I try to take my jewelry if it's a event or whatever, just in case people ask. Because I'd
Yeah.
rather be like, yeah, I have it in my car than be like, oh no, sorry. So
Yeah.
I try to be there with it if I can.
Yeah. I think like that makes it very personable too. And because I know if I were to have an experience like that where like you're at a sale, I walk up to you and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a bucket of jewelry, dig through it, get to talk to you. And then that's gonna make me want to come back and buy more online because I had that in-person experience with you.
Right, it's about the interaction for sure.
For
Yeah.
sure. Very cool. Well, is there anything else that you wanted to touch on today?
No, not that I know of. I feel like we talked about quite a bit.
Yeah, I think like I said, everything you're doing is so awesome and really inspiring. And I think you're really a testament of you do not need a 4-year degree to chase your dream. And I know this podcast is for like college students, so don't go take that the wrong way if you're listening. But I think as long as you have a dream in mind, you can really achieve it, no matter what piece of paper you have from academics.
100%. And I don't want people to be like, yeah, I'm going to go drop out of college at all. Like, that's not what I'm here to say. But I knew it was my, it was written for me to not go on to 4-year school because I got the Sullivan's job and I was like, I'm not meant to go to a 4-year. So if I don't want people just to drop out, but you can do so, so much without going to college. And I know college is not for everybody. And I mainly went for the social experiment pretty much. instead of the actual schooling. But you really don't need it, in my opinion. But it is nice as a backup plan. If my jewelry like falls through, I have that paper to help me get me a job in an office if I need to, which is
Yeah.
very, very, so it is a very good idea as a backup plan, especially in this day and age. We don't know where we're going. We don't know how the economy is going to be. So jewelry can fall through tomorrow and I have to go find me a sophisticated job. So I have that as a backup plan. So yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. You don't need it, but you kind of do in a sense. So
Yeah. I agree. I'm kind of in the same point where you are. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Emma. It was great to talk to you. I'll link all your information in the bio of this episode, and hopefully you'll get some sales from this.
Well, it was so good to talk to you too. Thank you so much for reaching out, and I had a great time. So thank you.
Perfect.
Thanks for tuning in to The Actual Story. Be sure to subscribe and share so you never miss an episode. Until next time, keep telling agriculture's actual story.